Hey everyone, welcome back to another day in the garden. Today I'm going to share with you the 8 crops that I will be planting in September in my 7A garden here in Oklahoma. Now I did want to make one clarification. So everything I'll be planting this month is not frost sensitive. It is either frost hardy or frost tolerant. I will not be planting any squash, anything like that. It's just too close of a call to make. So everything that I'm going to be planting this month is frost tolerant or frost hardy. So just wanted to start with that little caveat and let's begin. The first crop I'll be growing in my 7A garden here in September is beets. This beet specifically is a golden Detroit beet from My Gardener, and it says this variety is the best tasting raw beet on the market. Its savory and earthy flavor has a touch of sweetness that complements instead of overpowers. So I am honestly not a big beet person, but I did read that this golden beet is really good for those people who aren't a fan of that kind of dirt taste that a lot of beets have. Although I am actually growing one of those dirt tasting beets. So this one is a tall top early wonder beet from Fairy Morse, and it says this is a fine all-purpose table beet, high in vitamins A, B2, B6, and C. It just says for our zone, plant August through October. They can absolutely withstand a frost, and who can resist that color? So those are the 2 beets I will be planting in September. Next up is radishes. This particular variety is from My Gardener. It is the German giant radish. And for this one, it says in the About section, this is an absolutely massive radish. This variety is often confused for beets. German giant radishes are fast maturing for their size, and if you like a spicy radish, then you are in luck. So it says you can plant these in spring and fall. They're cold tolerant. They only mature in 30 days, which is outstanding. In our spring garden, we planted these French breakfast radishes, and I will also throw a bunch of these into the garden because they're just so good. Our favorite way of eating radishes was with some lime and tahini. That was super good. And we also made some radish sandwiches. We basically just sliced up the radishes, buttered some bread, placed the radishes on the bread, and then added salt, and it was so good. So I am very excited for us to get back into colder months so I can plant radishes. And as I mentioned, French breakfast is another variety that we will go ahead and plant. They are sort of smaller. Let me open this up and I can read the back of them to you. So it says French breakfast is an elegant choice for a relish plate or salad, an easy to grow vegetable and excellent for children to learn gardening. These were very easy to plant. I planted them maybe back in March, and we had such a cool spring that they lasted for a while. And it says the maturity is in 23 days, so you can't beat that. And the last radish I'm going to plant is this Pusa Hamuni radish. Don't quote me on that, from Baker Creek. And it says this radish, soft lavender to purple from pith to skin and with amazing flavor to match. So it just says best grown as a fall radish, can be grown in spring and cooler summer climates, which is not us. So it says ideal temperature 65 to 75, and there is the up close picture of those. And that's it for radishes. The third crop I'll be planting in September is kale. Now I am starting some kale inside, but I also wanted to direct seed some kale outside, kind of just to compare. We're going into a very cold snap. I say cold, it's cool for us. Literally highs in the 70s and lows in the 60s, and I'm so excited. And with rain, so it's going to be the perfect week to plant all these things that I have here, and rain, so it's going to be great. But next up is kale. I have this dwarf blue curled Beets variety. I think I got these from the dollar store, so they will be very interesting to see how they do. And it says this grows parsley-like leaves that are never bitter. The leaves are very desirable as greens and for garnishing. It can be grown as a spring and early fall crop. So this is a curly kale. I feel like this would be a good kale for like baked chips. We've done that before and they're very good. That's that kale. I also have some dazzling blue kale and dinosaur kale that I've started indoors. If you didn't see them in my fall seed starting video, go ahead and watch that one. So there will be more kale in my fall garden. This is just the one I'm direct sowing. Okay, next up I have parsnips. This says parsnips for our zone can be planted August through October. It's 105 days to harvest, and this particular variety is Hollow Crown. This is a tender, mild, and delicious, especially in late fall as frost adds sweetness to flavor. So at 105 days, September, October, November. September to October to November. That puts us at the beginning of December, so that should be an interesting timing. There is a very good parsnip soup recipe that we really enjoy. I'll link it down in the description below because I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it is so good. So it would be really cool if we can just have these out here in the yard and come harvest those whenever we need parsnips for soup. Speaking of parsnips, the next variety I'll be direct sowing this September are carrots. The two varieties I have is this Carrot Dragon Purple from Kitazawa Seed Company and also this Tonda di Parigi from Botanical Interest. So the Dragon Purple says this carrot has a deep purple exterior and orange interior. The pointed roots grow 6 to 8 inches long and have great flavor and texture. The color is eye-catching. So we did grow carrots in our spring garden and we did so good. I was very, intimidated by carrots because I had heard some not so great things about them. But we had such a cool and wet spring, it made it so easy to grow. And I think I planted them in March and harvested them sometime in June. So this time we're going to try some fall seeded carrots. And the other variety I have is this Tonda di Parigi. It says this has a small size but big flavor. It's Italian for a round of Paris. It's deep orange, sweet and tender, and the round shape is a unique feature among carrots. And I'm not gonna lie, but this picture is what got me. They're so cute. So gonna definitely try and get those. Maturity says 65 days, so it'll be interesting if that's really the case. We'll give them a shot. The sixth crop I'll be direct sowing this September is spinach. This variety I have is the Matador spinach from Botanical Interest. The back says this is a dark green, smooth, oval-shaped leaves are a versatile addition to the kitchen. Matador has a great sweet flavor as a mature plant, but can be enjoyed as baby greens and salad mixes. It also has a perfect texture for cooked dishes such as risotto. We love risotto, so if we can have some spinach for that would be great. This one says you ideally want to sow outside when the temperature is between 50 and 75 degrees and maturity is only 28 to 48 degrees. So no, maturity is only 28 to 48 days, so not bad at all. That is the Matador spinach. The seventh crop I'm going to be planting is peas. We had such a great crop of peas this spring. I was tired of peas. I was giving them to my friends. I was taking them to work. I was just wanting anyone or anything to take them. I was feeding them to a dog. I was feeding them to our in-laws' dogs. So they were very prolific because we had such a cool and wet spring. So I've got my fingers crossed for a very nice fall. And the two varieties I have here are this Spring Blush Pea. Doesn't it look so beautiful? It says this is a bicolored green snap pea that blushes purple. Not only does this variety grow to produce beautiful fruit, but its flavors are purple and white. If you're looking to add something whimsical to your garden this year, this is the variety for you. The tendrils are edible as well, making this variety known for its harvest productivity. So this sounds like it will be a monster producer. I will likely soak these peas in water maybe 12 to 24 hours before I plant them, just to help them get that good head start. So that's the first variety, and this is a snap pea, so you can eat the whole pea. The next pea I have is this Burpina Early, and this is a shelling pea, so it means you will not eat the outsides, you will just harvest the peas themselves. And it says this 3-inch pods are filled with 8 to 10 sweet tender peas, extremely prolific and early. 63 days to harvest. It says for our zone, February to April and September sown is best. And it says you can sow these in late summer for a fall crop. Those will be fun. I've never grown a shelling pea, so I'm very excited to see how these work out. And those are my two peas. The last crop I'm sowing this September, and you've probably guessed it, is lettuce. The first variety I have is this Four Seasons lettuce. I actually planted this in spring, and it was so soft and so buttery. I have to plant it again this fall. And let me open the back here for you so I can read it to you. It says this is an heirloom 6-inch butter heads with remarkable cold hardiness, perfect for spring and fall winter harvest. So I think I can plant these. I think I can succession sow these well into fall. So I'm gonna try that with just the random spaces that I have available in the garden, and I think that'll be a good option. And the last lettuce I'll be planting is this Little Gem Butterhead from in my gardener. It says this is the most adorable little lettuce you will ever see. Small, tight heads of butter crunch lettuce, wonderful in salads and when grown in small spaces like patio gardens or container gardens. So it's cold tolerant and then 50 days to maturity. And it has a little note here about harvesting lettuce. It says lettuce is best harvested in the early mornings to avoid wilting. For cut and come again after the first 21 days, harvest the outer leaves as they mature, leaving the center of the plant to continue to produce throughout the season. That's what I did this spring with our romaine lettuce. They were just, I don't even know what kind they were. They were romaine lettuce that I got from the greenhouse down the street. So I would just every so often come and harvest the outside leaves, and it was really great just to have fresh lettuce out in the garden. So this fall, I'm really excited to do that again. Okay, and that, my friends, are the 8 crops that I'll be direct sowing in my garden this September here in Oklahoma Zone 7A. I hope you'll let me know in the comments what you'll be sowing. I'd love to hear it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.